Gout is a painful form of arthritis. When your body has extra uric acid, sharp crystals may form in the big toe or other joints, causing episodes of swelling and pain called gout attacks. The pain can be extremely painful. Although it will not cause death, the sufferer feels like experiencing death. Doctors place gout under the umbrella term arthritis, a broad range of joint diseases and joint pain. Some forms of arthritis inflame joints, while others don't. Gout is a common form of inflammatory arthritis. It is due to the crystal called uric acid. Gout causes pain and swelling in one or more joints. It typically affects the big toe, but it is also found in other joints, including the knee, ankle, foot, hand, wrist, and elbow. The above is presented from the Western medicine perspective. This video course is designed and presented in appreciation to thousands of learners enrolled to my video courses on the ancient wisdom for today's well-being. Most of them feel amazed on the holistic approach by ancient wisdom, and this video on gout is one application of the ancient holistic and integrated theory. We present various health issues, be it mental, emotional, and physical, from both Western medicine perspective and the ancient wisdom, Yellow Emperor's inner classic perspective. By such presentation, we can see more clearly the differences in the underlying theories employed by the Western medicine and the ancient wisdom. We have emphasized repeatedly it is important to plot the underlying theories to understand the whole premises and not be overly focused on symptoms and treatment. You may have treated the symptom, but the underlying root causes may not be known, and new and different symptoms may appear in other forms over time. This is not called holistic treatment. In many of our video courses, we explain holistic theory is a set of theory that can explain logically the health issue. The same theory also addresses on the root causes. Then treatments and fundamental solutions are based on the same set of theory. The holistic theory is contained in the ancient wisdom, Yellow Emperor's inner classic, which is presented in this series of video courses. And for this video, we apply the holistic and integrated theory on the issue on gout. When we explain the health issue, in this case gout, from the ancient wisdom perspective, after we presented the Western medicine perspective, we will use several important concepts which are not familiar to the new learners if they have not attended the video courses of the ancient wisdom. Nevertheless, for this new learner, we will make careful explanation of the concept in this video so that you can follow through the video course more easily. With understanding of the key concept, later you can learn more in detail the ancient wisdom video courses. For those who have attended the ancient wisdom video courses, you may find it interesting how the learned ancient concept and theory can be applied on gout problem. Happy learning! Gout was first identified by the Egyptians in 2640 BC and was later recognized by Hippocrates in the 5th century BC, who referred to it as the unworkable disease. The term is derived from the Latin word gutta or drops and refers to the prevalent medieval belief that an excess of one of the four humors, which in equilibrium were thought to maintain health, would, under certain circumstances, drop or flow into the joint, causing pain and inflammation. Throughout history, gout has been associated with rich food and excessive alcohol consumption. Because it is clearly associated with a lifestyle that, at least in the past, could only be afforded by the affluent, gout has been referred to as the disease of kings. Some describe the gout pain like inserting broken glass pieces into the wound. On top of that, as if someone is forcibly pressing the small glass pieces deep into the wound, Some describe in the open wound, a knife is used to scrape and keep chipping the bone. Another phenomenon is gout attack can come anytime. There is no way to take any precaution. Some gout sufferers claim they have followed usual routine in food intake, lifestyle, etc., yet the gout attacks come. Such occurrences have deep implications as what is happening in your body system as per ancient wisdom perspective, which we will explain later. We are going to present gout as per Western medicine perspectives first. At the same time, we are posing some questions for reflection, the underlying logic of the Western medicine for subsequent more detailed discussion. Then we will examine how these critical questions are addressed by the ancient wisdom, Yellow Emperors, in a classic. Gout is a common type of arthritis that causes intense pain, swelling, and stiffness in the joints. It usually affects the joint at the base of the big toe. Its main cause is the presence of too much uric acid in the body. Instead of what is mentioned, presence of uric acid as gout main cause, we will see it as presence of high uric acid level as the immediate associated cause. This is because it is not the root cause. We need to explore further what causes high uric acid level and formation of crystal. Gout attacks can come on quickly and may keep recurring over time. This ongoing resurgence can slowly harm tissue in the inflammation area and can be extremely painful. Do you notice the description that gout attack can come and go, keep recurring over time? And the Chinese word of gout is 痛风. 痛 is pain and 风 is wind. This signifies the pain can come and go like there is wind blowing every now and then. There is significance in such description, as wind implies something is moving in the body. There is something that is moving in the body that causes the pain. And this movement is generally classified as qi. Qi is an important and critical concept which we will discuss again and again. Please note that Western medicine does not have the concept of qi. Excessive uric acid levels are typically due to the overproduction of uric acid or issue with the kidney in excreting this substance adequately. From this statement, we can easily notice two important factors: overproduction of uric acid and inability of kidney to remove this uric acid. Then we need to explore what causes overproduction of uric acid and why the inability of kidney to remove this uric acid. We read again, most Western medical texts still refer main cause of gout as high level of uric acid and not mentioning the upstream problem, that is, why overproduction of uric acid and why inability of kidney function. As a result, our attention is focused on removal of symptoms and not the root causes. Do you see this as the typical Western medicine approach? This points to the critical importance of function of kidney. Malfunctioning of kidney can lead to many serious diseases, not just gout problem. In fact, ancient wisdom places enormous emphasis on the key organ functionality, including kidney. This we will discuss in more detail later. Uric acid is synthesized mainly in the liver, intestine, and other tissues such as muscle, kidney, etc. This statement indicates production of uric acid mainly in the liver together with other organs. Then it should be logical to investigate in what way such organs fail to function to ensure optimal level of uric acid. Then efforts should be made to restore the proper functioning of this organ. It is obvious that Western medicine does not see this as important, whereas, as per ancient wisdom, it is considered vital importance. Now we look at this statement. How can I check my uric acid level at home? You can see the mindset influenced by the Western medicine, that is, the focus is on the immediate associated cause, that is high uric acid level as cause to gout, and not the upstream more fundamental issue like kidney functionality and other organs responsible for the production of uric acid. A person may not just have gout attack but diabetes and other diseases. Based on the above logic, this person has to monitor uric acid level, sugar level, high blood pressure, etc. constantly. Does it make sense to you? Many of these diseases can be related to kidney functionality or other major organ functionality. Then, shouldn't the focus be on the organ functionality? This is exactly what ancient wisdom is doing. Focus on overall and subsystem, not symptomatic indicator like uric acid, sugar level, etc. Now read this statement carefully. An excess of uric acid in the blood is the leading cause of gout. Typically, uric acid is dissolved in the blood and excreted from the body in urine via the kidney. You notice that Western medicine refers to focus on immediate associated cause, that is, excess of uric acid in the blood, and not on how uric acid is dissolved or not well dissolved in the bloodstream. Nor pay attention to how effective is kidney functionality to expel the uric acid, whereas ancient wisdom focuses on the larger context. These are typical risk factors mentioned in the Western medicine commentary. Example, age, sex, genetic, lifestyle, lead exposure, medication, weight, etc. You seldom find risk factors including a person's emotion, personality, attitude towards life as significant factors to one health problem. Ancient wisdom make two categories. One is external, like some of which are mentioned here. Another category is internal, regarding a person's emotion, personality, thinking pattern. On home remedies, the key recommendation is avoidance of food high in purine. There is no recommendation on how food therapy can help to better improve the blood quality without high uric acid, nor food therapy on how to improve kidney functionality so that uric acid can be more effectively removed through urination. This is because Western medicine, as mentioned above, overly focus on the immediate symptom, not upstream issue, and Western medicine only has nutrition concept, not food therapy concept. Later in the discussion using ancient wisdom approach, more elaboration is offered. Talking about avoidance of food high in purine, we shall have some discussion on purine. Purine is produced naturally in your body and is also found in certain food. The problem is that purine breaks down into uric acid, which can form into crystals that deposit in your joints and cause pain and inflammation. The statement says purine is produced naturally in your body and also found in certain food. But the remedy strategy is only to avoid food containing purine. What about the body internal processes that produce purine? If the body internal processes produce high amount of purine, which break down into uric acid, shouldn't the emphasis be placed on what processes that produce high amount of purine and with what effective control instead of just rely on avoidance of food with purine contains? A healthy body system can process food with high content of purine without gout attack. Then, shouldn't the emphasis be placed on what aspect of the body system that must be restored to its healthy functioning so that consumption of food with high content of purine poses no problem, no gout attack? Western medicine may appear scientific, but it does not appear logical. Listen to this statement from Western medicine. In any day, about 3/4 of the urate in your bodies come from the breakdown of purine produced within our body, while only about 1/4 comes from the breakdown of purine in food and drink we consume. While only 1/4 of purine comes from food, but the whole attention is on avoidance of food high in purine. No effort is made on how the body produces excessive purine as one of the major contributing causes to gout problem. Western medicine does appear to be very disorganized. They have pieces of information or discovery, but no connection with each other. Does Western medicine has an integrated theory on medicine? Due to Western medicine overemphasis on different medical specialists handling different aspects of diseases, it is not possible for the Western medicine to have an integrated theory of medicine. Each specialist will fight vigorously to find their domain of knowledge. What drugs raise uric acid level? As you can see, there are many drugs that raise uric acid level. This implies that a patient suffering from gout attack may be due to high consumption of other medication. This is a real dilemma of Western medicine. The drugs administered may have many negative side effects. The very drugs you take to control your gout attack can produce new negative side effects that create more health problems. Now read this. Patient can never be cured of gout. Does it sound familiar? It seems almost all diseases, as per Western medicine, there is no cure, except lifelong medication, which produces negative side effects. From the above discussion, it is not difficult to derive at this conclusion there is no cure because Western medicine focuses on symptoms, not underlying causes. This statement says treatments for gout are designed to reduce either the pain and inflammation of individual attacks or the frequency of attacks. It is obvious that treatments for gout are not designed to solve the root cause problem. It is merely treating the symptom. The treatment methods are in dietary changes and medication. First, we make some comment on dietary changes. In ancient wisdom, it is not called dietary changes, but food therapy, which implies to a certain degree food acts as medicine, and selection of food is necessary for treating or balancing certain diseases, example, gout problem. In one of the recommendations of the Western medicine dietary changes, it says, drink lots of water or other non-alcoholic beverages. But ancient wisdom food therapy carries different concepts. The key principle is balancing. Nothing should be too much or too little, and it must be compatible to the same person's body constituent or body system. Drink a lot of water for some people overload the bladder, which present another problems. Western medicine does not have the concept of a person's own unique body constituent. Body constituent and food therapy are discussed in detail in the video course, Food Therapy for the Unique You and Your Own Body Constituent. Here is a brief rundown of several classes of drugs used to treat gout. We need to remember Western drugs will produce different negative side effects to different patients. Then the patient is burdened with additional health issues besides gout attacks. And Western drugs are designed to treat symptoms, not root causes. In one of the statements, it is mentioned probiotics improve the kidney ability to remove uric acid from the blood. This indicates a drug is used to improve the kidney functionality. But it also mentions probiotics side effects include rash, upset stomach, and kidney stone. As for gout treatment and prevention, one of the statements says, in most people, a first acute attack comes without warning, and there aren't any other symptoms of high uric acid. This implies uric acid is not the absolute cause to gout problem. Hence, overly focus on measurement of uric acid is not so useful. Later, you will see in the ancient wisdom, another more useful variable is used to specifically point to one of the causes to gout problem. Although the titles say gout prevention, but all the strategies are on the symptom and not the root causes, there is no way to implement prevention of gout attack. To understand the ancient wisdom, that is Yellow Emperor's inner classic, it is important to understand its philosophy first. In Western medicine, the concept of treatment is used to address certain sicknesses or diseases, example, gout, cancer. But in ancient wisdom, the concept is more of balancing. Sickness or diseases are understood as there is imbalance in the body system, and balancing is to be carried out so that the healthy functioning of the body system can continue. The key focus is the overall body system balancing and not just the symptoms or diseases. We give a simple example. A person feels cold. Then a person put on an extra shirt to keep the body warm. Hence, balancing is carried out to balance the cold with warm. Cold is classified as yin and warm is classified as yang. Hence, the yin and yang to be in balance. Ancient wisdom does not necessarily address a particular disease, example, gout or cancer. Gout or cancer is considered manifestation of some parts of the body system out of balance. It can be kidney function out of balance or body fluid and blood out of balance. Since ancient wisdom does not address a particular diseases, then it addresses the whole person as an entity to achieve balancing. Many people argue that ancient wisdom lacks evidence base, hence it is considered not scientific. As mentioned, ancient wisdom focuses not on the disease per se, but the person as a whole. Two persons with the so-called Western medicine labeled as gout problems or diabetes, the two persons are uniquely different from each other. Hence, each of the treatments or balancing methods are different. We mentioned as an example, a person who feels cold may need only one extra shirt, but another person may need 3 shirts to keep warm. Western medical scientists group all the patients with gout problems or cancer problems and carry out experiments with different drugs to test the effectiveness of the treatment. These scientists assume that since these patients are labeled gout problem or cancer problem, they must be of the same sample type. Surely, there are many other medical issues besides gout problems to the patient in the sample. Some with high blood pressure, another cancer or Parkinson. They are not the same. They cannot belong to the same sample type like gout patient group. Ancient wisdom does not approach it this way. Hence, so-called scientific approach cannot be applied on ancient wisdom balancing method. The end result should be, are the patient eventually well balanced with no more such symptoms like gout or cancer, and the same person live well and healthy without medical problems? Certainly not on lifelong medication. How ancient wisdom looks at gout problem? There are 4 characteristics observable. First, there is redness color. Second, there is swell. Third, there is pain. Fourth, there is heat in some cases, or what Western medicine call inflammation. Ancient wisdom always bring out the underlying concept of each of the observations. Redness color indicates heat. Please note that the concept of heat and cold is of critical importance to the ancient wisdom. As experienced in daily life, the severe weather of hot summer and cold winter. Such severe weather conditions affect a person's health if the person does not know how to do balancing between his or her body with respect to the external weather. Heat is grouped under Yang and cold is grouped under Yin. Then gout redness color indicating heat is considered excessive Yang. Then Yin needs to be applied to balance the excessive Yang. Application of Yin can be herbs with Yin property or food with Yin property. Acupuncture can also be applied to drain off some blood which contains heat. Another observable fact is sway. Further observation of the sway is there is fluid, water that make out the sway. Ancient wisdom classified that as dampness and considered there is dampness in the body and accumulate at the joint that cause swelling. As compared with dryness, dampness is grouped under Yin and dryness is grouped under Yang. Logically, we need to remove the dampness, expel the Yin. Removal of dampness can be the use of herbs and some types of food and moxibustion. Then the observation and sensation of pain. For this, an established principle needs to be referred. That is, if there is pain, then there is blockage of qi flow at the meridians. Pain can also refer to sickness or diseases. Hence, if there is sickness or diseases, then there is blockage of qi flow at the meridians. The reverse is true. If qi flows smoothly at meridians with no blockages, there is no pain, no sickness, or no diseases. There are many ways to carry out unblocking of qi at meridians. We can use acupuncture or massaging at acupoints, moxibustion or qi exercises, or herbs or food therapy. For the student who are first time exposed to the concept of ancient wisdom, you may feel puzzled with some of the concepts introduced here. For example, yin-yang concept, heat and cold, meridians, acupoints, food therapy, qi exercises, moxibustion, body constituent, etc. That is alright. Take it as initial exposure and later you can explore more the concept and detail in the various video courses on ancient wisdom, Yellow Emperors, Inner Classic. Over the last 200 years of Western medicine development, more and more new substances in the body are discovered and labeling is applied. Western medical scientists discover uric acid, purine, blood sugar, cholesterol, plasma, hormones, etc. Some people were asked, ancient wisdom, Yellow Emperors Inner Classic was 300 years old. Surely during the ancient time, they did not know such new scientific discovery. Isn't ancient wisdom backward and not up to the level of today's scientific advancement? This is an interesting question. As we study more deeply the ancient wisdom, you will discover ancient wisdom embedded some key concepts which can encompass all these new scientific discovery, including even more new discovery in the next 100 years. Ancient wisdom presented 5 essential key variables that enable life to function. We will mention 2 of them, blood and body fluid. For the rest and more detailed discussion, you are welcome to refer to the video course, Qi is Mystery Unfolded, 5 Essential Human Life Variables. It is understood that blood also contains some body fluids. Hence, the concept of blood and body fluids encompass the many substances discovered by Western medical scientists. Example, uric acid, purine, blood sugar, hormone, insulin, etc. Today, Western medical scientists understand that uric acid is in the bloodstream and the blood is constantly flowing to all parts of the body. Gout is formed when this uric acid becomes crystal and deposit at joint, giving rise to pain and swelling. As per ancient wisdom, even though not knowing what is uric acid, but consider it is part of the body fluid in the bloodstream, with characteristic of dampness. It is understood there can be many different degrees of dampness. Example, very dense or very thin. It is very dense, it easily gets deposited at joint when there is blockage, preventing smooth flow. Dampness is one type of body constituent with noticeable characteristic. Please refer to other video courses on body constituent. Hence, as per ancient wisdom, not knowing what is uric acid, they recognize dampness as one condition for the formation of gout attack. Hence, for treatment or for balancing, removal of dampness is removal of dampness in the bloodstream, which is in constant motion throughout the whole body. Then, if the removal of dampness is effective, it not only cures the gout problem, the removal of dampness in the bloodstream also ensures such substances like uric acid or toxin, etc. is no longer available in the body system and will not cause gout at other joints and other dampness-related diseases. Ancient wisdom see the body as a whole system, and the body whole system is divided into subsystems, with each subsystem headed by the key organ. For example, we have liver subsystem or liver meridian. Then we have kidney subsystem or kidney meridian. Western medical scientists recognizes kidney play an important role to remove excess uric acid from the bloodstream and discharge through urination. Then for the gout problem, ancient wisdom will focus on the kidney function and determine to what extent they are out of balance or called yin-yang out of balance. When the diagnosis is well carried out and balancing effectively done, then kidney yin-yang is balanced. This not only may solve the problem of uric acid not effectively removed by the kidney, but also other kidney-related medical problems. Ancient wisdom also recognizes emotion affect organs' functionality. For example, fear affects kidney functionality. Then in making diagnosis of gout problem, attention is made towards a patient EQ, emotional intelligence, particularly how the patient managed fear issue, if any. Now you can see how ancient wisdom, instead of just paying attention to the arthritis with gout problem, more focus is made to balance the organ functionality, which also include emotion and personality. The concept of food therapy is very different from Western nutrition theory and so-called dietary management. In the case of food control over gout problem, Western medicine emphasizes on the avoidance of food rich in purine. Ancient wisdom will first analyze what type of body constituent the patient is having. There are 9 types of body constituent. Body constituent questionnaire for self-analysis is available in the video course, Food Therapy for the Unique You with Your Own Body Constituent. If the patient body constituent is of dampness type, there are many recommended food that remove dampness in your body. There are many different food promotes dampness, which should be avoided. With effective removal of dampness from your body, not only gout problem may be solved, but many other diseases also related to dampness can be avoided too. Example, tumor thrive well in damp environment in the body. Let's come back to the issue of gout attack problems. Western medicine recognizes the following. That is, number 1, there may be overproduction of uric acid. Number 2, the kidneys not able to take in uric acid for discharge through urination. Number 3, uric acid get crystallized and deposited at joints, giving rise to gout problems. We have already discussed how ancient wisdom carried out the diagnosis of the gout with particular balancing to remove dampness, cool down the heat, that is, for the redness and inflammation, and ensure qi flow at the meridian to solve the pain problem. Ancient wisdom also recognizes for the production of any body internal substances, be it uric acid, hormone, glucose, etc., and for the effective removal of uric acid or toxin from the body, the overall body system must function effectively, and this involves the key 5 organs functionality. Then, overall balancing of the body system as a healing method should be carried out briefly as follows. Number 1, food therapy. What food for better functioning of all the major organs, example, liver, kidney, heart, etc. Number 2, qi exercises to ensure qi flow smoothly for all the meridians. Number 3, emotional balancing addressing fear, anger, sadness, grief, and pensiveness, which correspond to all the major organ functionality. All the above should be carried out by the person or the patient himself or herself. The subject matter of this video is on gout problem. The above same principle can be applied to any other health or medical issue. Are you now getting more curious and excited, wanting to learn more about the ancient wisdom, Yellow Emperor Inner Classic video courses? There are 6 essential courses on Yellow Emperor's Inner Classic, covering the concept, theory, and practices. This one is Food Therapy for the Unique You with your Body Constituents, Meridians, Qi Exercises, and other self-help healing methods. Organs Functionality, what Western medicine does not know. 5-element theory, build relationship of parts for holism. Qi, its mystery unfolded. 5 essential human life variables. Philosophy, yin-yang theory, and application. The 6 essential video courses on the theories and concept of Yellow Emperor's Inner Classic are being applied to today's modern living, with the following video courses which are shown one by one here. Simplicity and Practicality of Ancient Wisdom on Health. Health from head to toe, breast and breast cancer. Health from head to toe, brain, Parkinson, dementia, stroke. A single window to personality, emotion, physiology. Autism, from understanding to solution action. You can find the links to these video courses at my blog www.360q.com.